The truck too tough to tame. Somebody's going to tame it today. Who is it going to be? We are green at Darlington. Creed quickly to the point, and the 99 of Ben Rhodes moves up next to his teammate Matt Crafton.
A little bit of smoke off that 99 truck, and that's not too unusual, Todd. They've got these trucks so aerodynamically fit. Tight radiuses around those tires. You're going to see some rubbing when the tires have low pressure.
Exactly. That left rear probably rubbing on the fender. Low air pressure, but it'll come up.
Nice clean lap, too. Good job by these racers. 3 wide into one. They better single file that out, and they figured that out.
Hey, when they go through that repave in 2 for the first couple of times, an attention getter for them? Are they trying to feel that out? What's that like for them?
I think like you see John Hunter, this is a chance for me to make some ground. I think you're going to see some real aggression over there in 2, Vince, because of the grip that they have. They're going to slip and slide as soon as they leave that dark part of the racetrack. But while they're over there, they want to make some good time. And you see that's a good example there. John Hunter off turn 2 had that good run. A lot of speed into 3, overshot the corner a bit.
Man, Rhodes right up on that door, but John Hunter is going to keep the position. You see on the pylon over on the left-hand side, Sheldon Creed in green because he won the playoff opener, and he has advanced to the next round already. All the others with the yellowish background are playoff drivers and still in the hunt. Remember, the first round of the playoffs, 3 races at Gateway a couple of weeks ago. Of course, this one at Darlington, and then September 16th at Bristol, and then we will eliminate 2 of the 10.
Those drivers in yellow are green with envy of green.
You're not going to be saying those things all day long, are you? I mean, get that out of the way. And
I just love racing at Darlington. I mean, it's just what NASCAR is all about. You said it so well in the opening. Nothing says NASCAR better than being in Darlington, especially Labor Day weekend.
You know, back to that patch for a second, you know that all these guys were watching that Xfinity race yesterday. They watched how those cars went through there, what difficulties the drivers had and didn't have, and every one of those Xfinity guys said that the only issue they had was the transition right there going onto the new pavement, and right here coming off the new pavement, it's really rough and there's a bump there. That was the only issues they had. Lots of grip in it.
I'm wondering about where you get down underneath the new pavement, because you see some trucks get underneath the new pavement, and you get the right sides on the new pavement and the left sides on the old pavement.
I would take 2 in the new over 4 and
Oh, absolutely.
Any point in this racetrack, I just look forward to seeing that dark part of the track, thinking, okay, I'm going to grip up here. Talk to Austin Dillon, who raced that Xfinity race yesterday, Todd, and he said whenever your truck's ailing, that part of the racetrack, it's fixed.
Right.
Your truck is fine there, but then as soon as you leave that, you still have your same problems.
Grip will fix a lot of issues in cars and trucks for sure.
How about Matt Crafton taking a run there at Sheldon Creed momentarily? Now getting back in line, John Hunter Nemechek has moved up into that 3rd spot behind Crafton. Creed has now led in 8 straight playoff races. He has won 3 of the last 4 playoff races. I mean, this guy, the postseason is his season.
I love that. I love Matt Crafton too, man. That 2nd place finish at Gateway, and he said, we're back. Likes the setup in his truck. As Josh Sims reported, they went to some setups they ran back in the late teens with their trucks. I don't really understand how that would work, Todd, but it seems to be paying off for him.
It does. You know, Junior Joyner's a smart guy, and he realized that they just haven't had the speed that they're used to having. Decided to go back, look through the notes, figure out where they were very different. And I talked to Matt a couple weeks ago, and he said that Junior's really worked hard on it. Obviously, last week at Gateway and running well right now.
John Hunter Nemechek now into that 2nd position. Nemechek led the most laps here when we raced in May, and was on the front row for that restart late in the race when everything went to heck in a handbasket for he and 15 or 16 others. And they really felt like that one got away. They had a dominant truck that day and did not win the race. So they came with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, he and crew chief Eric Phillips. And look at John Hunter putting the pedal down, trying to take that lead from Creed, but Creed fighting back on the outside.
Wow. That was a nice dive down into turn 3 by John Hunter, but couldn't quite close the deal. We went playoff racing in St. Louis, Vince, and I had John Hunter hands down the favorite. And when we left there with the way Creed performed and just the confidence that that team has shown with all the success they've had lately, like you said, I put these two as co-favorites now to win the championship, and now they're battling here for the lead at Darlington.
Nemechek to the front, going to close the door this time on Sheldon Creed, and Nemechek is our new leader.
This one thing that all year long that I've seen out of John Hunter's trucks, week in and week out, is their long run speed, the ability to keep the truck going ahead. And here we are 11 laps into the race. Tire pressure's up, tires are hot, and here he is taking the lead and pulling away from Sheldon. And this is his strong point, it seems like, every week.
Same truck that they raced here in May. You saw Eric Phillips there, the crew chief for John Hunter, and now Crafton is making a move on Creed, and he takes away the second position.
Creed looks really loose.
Yeah.
The truck was back end was waving around as he went through 3 and 4, and he's lost 2 positions there. Listen to his throttle. Wide open off turn 2 as we expected. See what he struggles with down here in 3 and 4.
Competition caution coming at lap 15. How about Creed, Josh Sims?
Yeah, the 2 truck is saying they are a little free right now. They say they're getting beat on turn 2, so they're hoping to get that adjusted. And moving over to the 52 truck, they also are saying they are loose through the center right now. So 2 of the contenders right now having a little issues with their truck at the moment.
Josh, they're going to have more issues too. This place, every lap you run is an adventure. Hocevar down low in turns 3 and 4. He's been running some really solid lap times here early in the race. He must like his truck, but I don't know what's going to. They're going to have the competition caution you mentioned, Vince. It's going to be hard to come to pit road. I'm torn about what these drivers will do. Obviously, they need adjustments, but saving those tires. Darlington is Darlington. New tires, especially if you got a set late in the day, can really be a big advantage.
We saw yesterday in the Xfinity race what happened to a couple of those guys that didn't have those tires at the end. There's no way that I would come in and take tires. Maybe adjust it, but then you put yourself back. You don't want to do that either. Right now, these guys are just trying to figure out their trucks, and you can. Darlington is one of these tracks where you can change your driving style, change the line by a couple of feet, how you use the gas, how you use the brake pedal, and really change the handling of your truck. So that's what they're trying to figure out right now, how to make their trucks better.
And you know, we spoke of the grip, Vince, through turn 2. That's going to wear the tires more, which means that's going to be even more of a reason to save a set of tires if you can.
How about the 21 of Zane Smith struggling here early on, Jamie?
He really is, and the caution is out for the competition caution, but Zane Smith very loose, running 9th right now. I talked to his crew chief, Kevin Bono-Mannion. He was one of the only crew chiefs, guys, that told me if they weren't going to make any forward progress in the first 15 laps, they would highly consider coming in and getting a set of tires here.
This is interesting because it's polled 3 or 4 crew chiefs, Vince, and every one of them said, oh no, we're not going to get tires. You watch. They'll come get tires, sure as the world. Those things right there, that's what it's all about at Darlington, fresh rubber.
Yeah, about 2 seconds of fall off already from the initial laps on those tires, so they are a difference maker, there's no doubt about it, but boy, you want them at the end, that's for sure. And as we mentioned, 5 sets, 4 in the pits, 1 on the truck, and heck, you'd change them about every 5 laps if you could.
That's exactly right.
Drivers want tires any chance they can get them. Are you kidding me? 4 feel goods on there, and it goes.
Here's a good look at Austin Hill and our onboards.
And he's just putting his visor down for us, Vince, so we can see that visor cam. That's a great view when you're looking, especially with these trucks, because the windshield's so big, you really get a sense of what it feels like to be behind the wheel.
Sheldon Creed getting a drink of water. I love this view right at back at the cockpit in the driver's office. How about Matt Crafton? He's looked good early on.
Just talk to me off of 2 because that's going to be my telltale of aggression.
Pretty good bounce there. I mean, it launches, but I kind of learned how to work with it.
I think you mentioned, Mike, that bump that we saw as the drivers were exiting turn 2 in that paved area. We talked about who's going to be coming to pit road. Well, Sheldon Creed. We heard Josh report that he was pretty free, and he's coming to pit road to get an adjustment, as is Ben Rhodes.
And they'll all take those tires. You can't come to pit road, Todd, in my opinion, and give up all that track position and not put tires on.
Josh Sims.
So you see the 2 had been a little free earlier. He felt he was getting beat in turn 2. Comes in now to get a tire change. And this is a team that's very confident right now, but the looseness of the cars had them concerned a little early in the race so far, guys.
So Creed gets a little service. And we'll have the restart. Stage 1 from Darlington. Competition caution. Teams have pitted as we welcome you back to the Camping World Truck Series. Playoff race number 2 from Darlington. You know, we talked about the repave in turn 2. How about this transition?
Hang on. Feel this bump here, Todd?
Well, the hard part about this new pavement, you know, it's the transition on the exit. It's not so much on the first part. It's that one right there. The truck is still trying to, you can see the black marks. It's still round, so you're still trying to get grip. You're still turning the truck. When you hit that pavement, that transition, and hit that bump, you're going from a grippy part of the track to no grip, over a bump, and that's what makes it difficult.
You see the 16 of Austin Hill. Too fast entering penalty during that pit sequence, so he'll go to the back. Losing some big track position as he pitted from 10th. And still got a good amount of racing left here in stage 1.
Let's look back there about 10, 12 rows. You see the orange truck. That's Sheldon Creed. First truck lined up with fresh tires, so this will be fun to watch, huh? He's got Grant Enfinger alongside. There's Dawson Graham. Talked to Dawson this morning. He's got a new sponsor, Be Water. North Carolina company that's on his truck. He's hoping for a good run for them.
Yeah, we saw about 2 seconds of drop off. So with Creed and Infinger and those guys with fresh tires, it'll be interesting watching them come through.
I feel like Superman with them tires on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you feel like Superman, but you better take it easy. It's going to be congested.
John Hunter Nemechek on the inside, Matt Crafton in that neon yellow on the outside. The 88 of Crafton spun the tires a little bit, was getting some help from behind from Friesen.
What about Hocevar with a nice start there? Got up to the outside of John Hunter, settles into second, and really cuts that second corner off.
Yeah, Hocevar took advantage of Crafton's restart struggles and jumped into position.
Josh Berry got a little sideways off of turn 2 there.
Look at that congestion. Wow, Parker Kligerman in that mess. Right behind them, here comes Sheldon Creed on the bottom. 3 wide at Darlington. Todd, you've run here a lot. 3 wide at Darlington just doesn't sound right.
No, 2 wide's hard enough. To go 3's crazy.
On board with Creed, that's Colby Howard on the inside there, and debris on the track. Caution is out. So that didn't take long. Just a couple of laps. And the caution. Tate Fogelman in the 12.
Uh-oh.
With an issue?
That looks like a part of a dry shaft to me. Yes, sir.
Does me too.
Looked like Crafton spun the tires on that restart, and Hocevar wasted no time jumping up to the outside in front of him.
That kid is so impressive. Here comes Superman you talked about, Vince. I told you better be careful. It's going to get congestion. Man.
He had a run going, just couldn't pull out before the line to make the pass. A lot of patience right here. You know, you got those 4 new ones on there. You want to go, but
oh, wow! Somebody when he had to back off the gas, whoever was behind him didn't get it back down in time and did a lot of damage to that rear bumper.
The 99 of
looks like Ben
Rhodes.
Yeah.
Ooh, it'll be interesting to see. I'd rather be Creed's back end than Rhodes' front end.
Absolutely.
Rhodes, the damage that Rhodes probably got worse, leaves him worse off.
Oh, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. See if we can pick up Ben. There he is with the 99. Be lucky if he didn't do some radiator damage. Definitely caved. Look at that. That's a mess.
Yeah.
He'll need to pit for that, Todd. That air can get under the hood, it looks like, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's a lot of drag if you let it go. Not to mention, you really take a chance of breaking that hood pins off and the hood coming up. So I think I would come in and at least put some barrier bond over that hole or something.
The crew's got the binoculars peeled on that. I'm sure they're using our shots here from Fox as well.
The only good thing, it didn't get to his fenders. It's only the center of the truck, so he still got the downforce in the fenders.
Could be a bad break for Rhodes, one of our championship contenders, and boy, he has been so good here in the 2 truck races. He won last year and then finished second in May. Expected to be a strong contender for the win today, but a little front end damage on that 99. Coming back for the restart. Hey, Saturday is September 11th, and join us on Fox as the Yankees and the Mets take to Citi Field for the 20th anniversary of the day America will never forget. A special game. Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. We're here at Darlington, South Carolina today for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, race number 2 of the playoffs. Matt Crafton's running third, Josh.
And Matt Crafton has some extra motivation today, and that's all because of what his daughter Elodie did last night. Check this out. In the cadet feature at Millbridge, you see her in the 88, and let me tell you, she was running that thing, and she's able to come away with the victory. And then afterwards, she told her father, now that I won this weekend, you have to go out and win. So a little extra motivation. He can't let her down. Crafton knows he has to get the win at Darlington today so he can look his daughter in the eye later on today, guys.
Man, what a dad moment that had to be.
And she was making that cart wide just like the old man.
She learned from the best of them.
It's so much fun to go to Millbridge and watch all the racers with their kids, crew guys. So many different teams represented at Millbridge.
Watch the 12 here, Tate Fogelman. That's why we're under caution. Part fell off the.
That's
underneath. There it is, Mikey. Yeah. The other half of the dry shaft we were looking at.
You see part of it flying through the air there as well. So
make sure you don't hit that.
You'll have to come to pit road.
Debris is cleaned up, and we're getting ready for the restart.
I think this is pretty consistent what we'll see today, Todd. The outside on the restart when you choose, you're going to want that top just to get that good sweep down into turn 1.
Well, it gives you that good sweep, but also if the guy on the inside can hang with you, the odds of him beating you off a 2 are slim because he's going to get loose underneath you. That's the big thing.
On the outside, it's Nemechek, Hocevar, and Friesen. 19 to go in stage 1. Crafton got a good launch there on the inside.
Look at Sheldon Creed. He's really using those new tires. He's 3 wide into 1, already into the top 10. He didn't want to see that caution flag because it's just eating into the laps that he needs to get to.
And we got one sideways. It's Colby Howard making his season debut, and I think he managed to gather it up without anybody else making any contact with him, and that is amazing.
Great job. Flat left rear tire right there. That's probably why he got around.
Well, he's got a flat left front too. I think.
Well, maybe they wore holes in them.
I think we might have flattened all those during that spin there. He was running 13th, and I'll tell you what, Vince, you're not going to spin at Darlington. Well, you're trying to go 4 wide. You are going to spin if you do that at Darlington. But he made that work. But then on the way off, like Todd said, loose on the bottom.
Yep.
Great job by Lawless Allen, that 45 truck, being able just to slide by the outside.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is amazing. We didn't gather them up right there. Austin Wayne Self and Tanner Gray were there on the outside of Howard.
And you can't see with all that smoke. Check this out as a 16 of Austin Hill runs into this mess. Where's he at? Where'd he go?
Howard making his first start in the series since 2019. He's been running in the Xfinity Series for JD Motorsports.
Well, that's a good feeling, Vince, when you can spin at Darlington and all you need is new tires.
Yep.
What did you say about going 3 wide at Darlington, Mikey? Doesn't work real well.
Well, they were trying to go 4, Todd.
Everybody did a great job right there, though. Nobody getting in any of the other guys. Look, he doesn't even have a scratch on that thing.
Nice work.
Bet his heart rate went up a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'll get your attention. That's for sure.
Well, unfortunately, another caution, but the good news is we get another restart. And that is where the excitement, boy, every single race, regardless of where you're at, but especially here at Darlington. But I guess the one driver, not just the one, but the drivers that don't want these cautions are the guys that got the fresh tires, right?
Well, but it does bunch them all up, Vince, and when you're on those new tires, you can be aggressive like we saw Sheldon Creed do and gain those spots in a hurry. So still got 17 to go. They string them out here and run 10, 12 laps. I'm telling you, Sheldon Creed's going to be leading this race.
Right now, Creed is right there back on the tail end of the top 10.
When we were here in May, we had a record 12 cautions Vince. We're already up to 3 here today, so we're trending.
We're on pace. On pace for a new record.
Yeah, we had 6 in the last stage, though. So Nemechek, Crafton, Hocevar, Friesen, Todd Gilliland, all playoff drivers in our top 5. As far as the deepest running playoff driver, that's Austin Hill. He's back outside the top 20. Remember, he had the pit road speeding penalty. So coming now to the choose zone, you'll select the inside lane or the outside lane. We'd certainly anticipate Nemechek going to the outside.
There he goes, Crafton to the bottom.
Creed will go to the bottom as well.
You know why Creed goes to the bottom? He just wants to go where they ain't. And when he gets to turn 1, there's not going to be a wall keeping him from going higher.
Yep.
There's just pavement on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's going to try to take advantage of that.
How about Austin Wayne Self? That was a near miss for him in that last spin by Colby Howard. Radio from the 22 camp.
I mean, come on, dude. On there, you did a good job of hanging on to it. First stage, you know, I just don't get it. He just wrecked himself, you know. I just don't get. It's not a dirt race, man. We got a long day.
But it feels like a dirt race sometimes, you know, slippery as it is. Drivers can be very critical of other drivers. I mean, that button on the steering wheel you used to speak with, you feel like you are Superman again when you push that button. You can say anything you want.
We'll see the pace car peel off here, and when they take the green on this restart, there will be 15 to go. That's John Hunter Nemechek on the outside and Matt Crafton on the inside. Behind Crafton is Stuart Friesen. Behind Nemechek in that red 42 is Carson Hocevar.
Crafton got a little better start this time. Can he make it work?
No. But he did grab second. Lost that the last time. Stuart Friesen trying to take second away on the bottom.
Good run from Friesen. Is he going to be able to slip up in front of Hocevar? Right now he's pinned on the inside and is going to get that spot from the 42.
Todd Gilliland up to the top 5 here, racing hard on the bottom of that 38 truck. Good battles.
We've really seen Gilliland in that front row team pick things up here in the second half of the season. Of course, Gilliland won at Coda. One of our playoff drivers. On board with Sheldon Creed with Derek Kraus right in front of him.
If Creed's truck's still loose, we'll have to tiptoe a bit. Those tires are making a big difference, as you can see, as he goes way low in turn 4.
Side by side with Chandler Smith now, another playoff driver in that 18. Smith doesn't give up the spot yet. I would think with the fresh tires, you really got to be careful to be patient enough, because you are so much quicker than the rest.
It'd be easy to get in trouble if you don't. Well, just like on that initial restart, you know, Sheldon knew he had better tires. He knew he was going to be fast, so he was a little bit conservative and was able not to hit the truck ahead of him. Got to be smart like that.
Derek Kraus. A little bit of contact. The old Darlington stripe.
And Zane Smith. He was between a Smith and a hard place.
You got a stripe on both sides of the truck.
Kraus was inside the top 10 at the moment, or at the time, and he has now slipped back a couple of positions.
He's running what I would call the apron through 3 and 4.
I've seen Kevin Harvick make that work. You see guys using some unique lines. I think he might be running low, afraid of that tire rub. Maybe thinking about coming to the pits.
Rhodes moves past Self for 11th. Creed now working on Hocevar for 5th.
Be interesting to see how how Creed's truck runs these last 10 laps. He was really loose earlier. Got a couple guys coming behind him that have fresh tires as well, in the form of Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, both those guys back there. Jamie, what's happening with the 18 truck?
Yeah, Chandler Smith's been running anywhere from 6th to 8th. He's just sliding the right rear too hard. They're going to want to fix him up in about 10 laps. And last time we were here at Darlington, they felt like they really needed to improve between turns 3 and 4. So yesterday, Danny Stockman, the crew chief, and Chandler walked on foot during the Xfinity race and stood between 3 and 4, getting a different perspective, seeing different things, different lines he can do to improve today. So far, he's been good. They just need that truck a little bit better.
Yeah, of course, they had the mechanical issue in the playoff opener with a right rear hub problem. Finished 23rd. Less than 10 to go in stage 1. We're going to take a break, but you won't miss a thing. Going to keep on trucking from Darlington. Welcome back to Darlington, NASCAR Truck Series racing here on FS1, presented by Blue Emu. You've been watching it during the commercial break. Zane Smith and that 21 truck, he is on the move. Got around Todd Gilliland, and now he is working on Stuart Friesen and grabbing that position. So Smith now into the 3rd spot. You ride on board with Sheldon Creed. A couple of laps left here in stage 1. Creed has the fresher tires, but the truck just not running or handling quite to his liking.
Yeah, Todd and I were watching, and he just didn't get the adjustment he needed to get that looseness taken care of. So we'll have to look at that. But Zane Smith, he's on the fresher tires too, Vince, and his truck is better. So look for Smith to continue to race toward the front, even when they all get on the same tires here in a lap or two.
Final lap in stage 1. John Hunter Nemechek continues out front. He has dominated so far today, just as he did in this race back in May, but he didn't win in May. Remember, got wrecked late. And they came with a little unfinished business to tend to here at Darlington this week. And John Hunter Nemechek will win the stage, his 10th stage win of the season. 50th playoff point of the season. Wow. That's big.
That's all Kyle Larson-esque, isn't it?
Stage 1 in the books. But a stage winner has never actually won at Darlington. We'll see if that changes.
Stuart Friesen among the top 5. Bottom half of the top 10 looks like this. Stage 1, Todd Gilliland, Carson Osavar, who had a good truck. Chandler Smith and Martin Winterman, Ben Rose, getting that final playoff point here. In 10th position is truck 10. Quick glance down the road.
Welcome back to Darlington, the In It to Win It 200. See our stage 1 results. John Hunter Nemechek, the stage winner. Parker Kligerman, the only non-playoff driver in the top 10. And Kligerman came from deep. He started 34th today. You guys got some talent.
It's pretty impressive, all of our playoff guys, though. That tells you how important this time of year is. Everybody will hit the pit road now.
Austin Hill, the deepest of our playoff drivers. Remember, he had a pit road speeding penalty earlier in stage 1 during the competition caution. Pit stops, the first stops, in fact, for many. And here at the end of stage 1, we'll get it down to Josh Sims.
Your stage 1 winner, John Hunter Nemechek, has been running well up front all day long, but he said they are a little laterally free on 3 and 4. He wants to tighten it up just a little bit. As far as the 88, they've been running well as well, but on those fresh tires, they said they were firing off well, but then getting tight across the center on 3 and 4, so they will make some minor adjustments as well. Jamie?
And Todd Gilliland in the 38 came in 8th in the playoff points, certainly hoping to improve on that. And they're not far off so far. He says their main concern, entry is a little bit free at both ends. They're going to make an adjustment there. You saw him working on the truck, and he said it gets better as they run. So that is good news because that was a focus for this 38 team.
Got it a great stop for the 2 group. Sheldon Creed picking up 3 positions. Chandler Smith gaining 4 spots. Well, the work on pit road going to be critical today, as it always is. Stage 2 when we come back.
Good time. Labor Day weekend here in Darlington. We thank all of those who serve our country and are with us here today. Various branches of the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, making weekends like this possible here. Great to see all the faces of the
Next Sunday on Fox, the NFL is back, and it's a huge doubleheader. First, Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against the Falcons. Then in America's Game of the Week, Aaron Rodgers fronts the Pack against Alvin Kamara and the Saints. All kicks off 1 o'clock Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check the local listings for the game in your area. The last Sunday without football spent at the racetrack for these fans here at Darlington. Got the doubleheader. The truck's on track now. Cup later today. And stage 1 is complete. John Hunter Nemechek won that stage. But how about this issue for Ben Rhodes, Josh?
Yeah, guys, something you never want to hear a driver say. He said, quote, "It's weird." He says the front and the rear are just not connected right now. So he's going to have to come in and get something fixed. They got a hole, they're saying, on the front of the car. So Ben Rhodes with a little concern over the radio with the way that truck is handling right now, guys.
Well, that's the damage from when he ran into Sheldon Creed on a restart. And there you see the repairs being done. They taped it up, but there's a radiator behind that. At some point, you got to be careful, right?
We got to make sure we have cooling so we can keep running. But for Chief Rich Lucius,
I'm sure the weirdness that he was feeling was all the air that was going underneath the hood, lifting the front of the truck up. He doesn't know there's a big hole under there, so that's what he's probably feeling.
well, he was able to hang in there pretty good, too.
He
They
did.
got her all taped up.
Yes, he
Could be
did.
interesting to see. We know how good Ben is here at Darlington. We'll see if Rhodes can come storming through the pack.
Well, Rhodes' teammate Matt Crafton also may be having some mechanical issues. We'll address that after the restart here, but getting ready to go back green to start Stage 2, as you see Crafton's crew chief, Junior Joyner. Pace car is off. Sheldon Creed on the inside. John Hunter Nemechek on the outside. Playoff race number 2. This is stage 2 at Darlington. And we are green and going to crank it up. Lap completed successfully. How about that 22 of Austin Wayne Self having a good run today inside the top 10, although taking a challenge now from Johnny Sauter, able to hold him off for the moment. Not done yet though is the 13 of Sauter. And he's starting to slip back. That's Gilliland right behind Self.
Tyler Ankrum in the 26. This is a good battle here. All want to be a part of that top 10. Zane Smith back in this battle. We saw him racing up toward the front. Fell back after that pit stop.
Johnny Sauter with Joe Shear Jr. back on the box this week. They a little break. Had Bud Haverly crew chief the 13. The most recent race, St. Louis.
Look who's coming through. Look at him. At 21, he's on a roll again.
Zane Smith just outside the top 10, but he's moving up, Jamie.
Yeah, and I just talked to his crew chief, Kevin Mannion, and said, what happened on that stop? And he said, well, we have some right side damage. Oh, as he gets into, it's hard to tell who that is that he got into, but the 21, they had damage on the right side. So when they pitted, the jack post on the right side was bent up. They had to switch jacks in the middle of that stop. So that sent him all the way back to 23rd, and now he's just racing his way forward on those new tires.
Yeah, probably a little more right front damage after getting into his teammate, Tyler Ankrum. Watch this.
Wow. This is a great save by Ankrum. Just, you can see Todd, he hit the bump, the transition, and I think it just upset his truck enough to where he got into the back of the 26.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a run, and, you know, I just call that a little racing incident there. He got underneath him, and Tyler's spotter didn't tell him, and he came down. You know, it's part of it.
Zane Smith might call it a racing incident. What do you think? What do you think Tyler Ankrum would call it?
He had a few choice words inside the helmet, I'm sure.
But Smith's doing a great job today. Both those Smith boys are. Chandler's up in third spot, Vince. He's having a solid run, and they were both below the cut line, outside the playoff picture, and they're fighting their way toward the front.
How about these guys? A couple of non-playoff competitors, and they are always competitive. The 98 of Enfinger, who the last 3 races in this 98 truck has finished 3rd in each of those 3. So, I mean, you know he's going to be running up toward the front. And Parker Kligerman, who has stormed from the back, he started 34th, and he is inside the top 10.
Wouldn't you just say when you see Parker Kligerman starting a race and he's going to start in 34th, he'll be in the top 10 before the day's over? I can promise you that. He's just a very good racer. He understands how to get his truck through this mess and up toward the top 10.
Parker has a lot of patience, and I think when you start in the back of these races, that's the biggest thing that's your advantage. Take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Don't put yourself in bad positions and get your truck beat up or a fender knocked off. And Parker's really, really good at that.
Man, that makes me nervous, Todd. When somebody goes too wide, off two. I'm used to the old two, where you're just hanging on. They got a little bit more grip, and everybody's just very confident that they can run through their too wide, and I'm not.
One thing that I've noticed, these guys are very confident in putting those left sides on the old asphalt. When you do that, that makes the racetrack a lot wider. So, yeah, it's never fun when you're on the inside doing that.
Austin Hill faster than that truck in front of him, the 25 driven by Josh Perry, but just unable to get around him.
Here comes Chandler.
Sheldon Creed. He is out front, but being pressured by the 18 of Chandler Smith.
Chandler got around John Hunter, started heating up the back of that two.
It's been interesting for Chandler Smith. You know, last race at Worldwide Technology had that mechanical issue, finished 23rd. The race before that at Watkins Glen, they were DQ'd for failing tech. I mean, you look at the results, and certainly not impressive, but it doesn't always tell the story, the finishing result, and I think certainly that's the case with this 18 of Chandler Smith. He has had some really good runs this season where they just didn't get the result.
Yeah, and lately, Vince, those runs have come more and more. Oh, sideways for Creed. Lately, those runs have come more and more often. This team is really in a good spot right now. I feel like they are going to move up into contention to win this championship.
Danny Stockman, the crew chief on that 18, and he does a heck of a job. Won a couple of Xfinity Series championships, or a couple of NASCAR championships with Austin Dillon. Zane Smith, we saw with the transmission issue at Gateway, and we talked about earlier the fact that he finished 35th in that race. Well, he's having a good run at it today, though currently runs 10th. There's Chandler Smith. Talked about the hub issue that he had last week. Finished off the pace in 23rd. Derek Kraus in the 19, getting some pressure from Jack Wood in the 24.
These trucks are running just outside the top 20 as John Hunter now has made his way to the back of Creed. Sheldon's just still loose.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say, Mike. You know, we talked earlier about Sheldon on that first stop. They didn't get enough adjustment in the truck to tighten it up. Second time, you thought maybe, well, they'll go a little further. Well, it doesn't look like they still went far enough because it's really loose.
And can I ask you, Todd, would that damage to the back of the two truck be causing any of his handling issues, you think?
Yeah, but I don't think so, Mikey. You know, the shots that we've had from the back of it doesn't really, well, right there now, the quarter panel is bent up a little bit. The side force of this truck is all generated on that quarter panel. And if that gets out of whack, oh, big right.
There's Jack Wood and the 02 of Chris Wright, and the 99 of Ben Rhodes involved in that one as well. Well, we had just talked about Jack Wood and the tight battle that he was in. Some heavy damage to the rear of that truck. Ben Rhodes, one of our playoff drivers, and of course the 02 of Chris Wright getting rolling again.
Yeah, that shot we showed earlier, Vince, of those guys racing, they were all racing hard back there.
Yeah, just inside the top 25.
Ben Rhodes is going to try the slide job.
Just ran out of room.
I think all three of them.
Wow. That's hard to break down right there.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. I think it was probably pretty easy to break down, wasn't it?
all three in a wad right there.
The Rhodes just put it in there and couldn't get it through.
Yeah, thank you, Vince. I was trying to say that. Just didn't make much sense to me.
But the 02, Chris Wright, he did the same thing. He just went in too deep and got up into bend. So both of those guys got in a little too hard.
I need to see this one again. I think Ben Rhodes was thinking slide job here. I'll get to the bottom and slide up. And the 02, I think Ben was going to be okay, but then.
Yeah, the 02 got in there.
Wright was in his. Well, Ben needed that space, and you can't really blame the 02. Ben put himself in a really compromising position there.
Tough luck for Jack Wood in that location. Wrong place, wrong time. Chandler Smith on pit road, Jamie.
Chandler Smith has been so happy since the last pit stop. He's like, way to go, guys. They had a solid stop. And now we just told the team, hey, I'm out here here cruising. I'm going 80% like you guys want me to. You let me know when you want me to kick it up a notch. Meanwhile, they're just going to put 4 tires on here. The 16 of Austin Hill coming down as well. He's had a rough day of it. He's a 10 out of 10 tight. You see him adjusting on it right there, trying to free him up a little bit. Track bar, wedge adjustments. He had a speeding penalty earlier, so certainly not off to the day they were hoping to have.
And Jamie, when you have 2 wrenches in the back of your truck,
That's twice as bad, is it? Right?
you know you got some serious handling issues. And we heard Matt Crafton report to his team he had something going on with the brakes. We saw him almost slide through his pit on the last stop, but he was able to maintain speed. I wonder if he's just got a long pedal, Todd.
It's really hard to say. That's a bottle of brake fluid laying there. Maybe had a small leak or something in the front of the master cylinder, but he did say on his pit stop that it went to the floor, so hard to say what it really was.
So a couple of the Thor Sport playoff trucks with some issues, Rhodes and Crafton. Getting ready to go back green here in stage 2 at Darlington. John Hunter Nemechek will restart on the outside. He won stage 1. That's Sheldon Creed on the inside with Hocevar and Friesen back there in row 2. Hocevar giving Creed a little bump.
Creed likes that. You bump me straight, that's a good thing. But those bumps get more and more aggressive as the day goes on. Got to really be careful when pushing.
Nemechek strong around the outside. Nemechek's led the most laps today, 38, but Creed has been right there with 29 laps led. Hocevar's been impressive again today. It's hot and slick. A lot different conditions than what we had when we raced here in May. Temperature in the 80s here today, and sun is out, and then we've got that repave in turn 2. I mean, it's not the same old Darlington. It is the same old Darlington, but it just looks a little different right there. There's that repave in 2.
The degree of difficulty did not go down a bit with that fresh pavement over there. It makes it a little bit more challenging, I think, and makes turn 3 and 4 with the speed you take down into there even more difficult.
Here you see our playoff points as they run. Austin Hill struggling along today. He had a penalty, on pit road speeding penalty early in the race. Has lost track position from the get-go. He's back in 22nd. Chandler Smith, who came into this race already in 10th in the standings, has lost a few more points, but he's run well so far today.
Well, he's one of the guys that pitted there, Ben.
Yep.
That strategy, I mean, I'm on the fence. We talked earlier about whether they would pit or not during the competition caution. Most didn't, but when he pitted there, that means he's down to 2 sets of tires. See how that plays out.
Yeah, that's a tough call on these crew chiefs.
And there is Smith there in that 18. Getting a little pressure on the inside from Tanner Gray, had a big wiggle. And now Smith going to move around Haley Deegan in that one truck.
That's those new tires. I mean, they're going to be magical for him all the way to the end of this stage. Can he get all the way back up and battle for the lead? That's another question.
John Hunter Nemechek pressuring Creed again. Well, how many times have we seen trucks go through that repaved area with a big wiggle? We saw it again from Haley Deegan there on that previous shot, and now John Hunter Nemechek still not able to take the spot from Creed. Here they come through that same area again, a little bit more steady that time, and Hocevar now into the mix.
Man, that was a wild-looking lap for John Hunter, wasn't it?
It was crazy for Sheldon Creed. It looked like in the middle of the straightaway it went sideways on for some reason. It looked like John Hunter actually kind of backed off to make sure something didn't happen there. That was a little weird. Then his whole line through 1 and 2 was crazy. I think right now we're seeing John Hunter's long run truck come to the front here. He's got these old tires and he's hounding on Sheldon. There again, Sheldon's truck seems to go away on the long run. So,
yeah, but how many times have we talked about how Creed's truck doesn't look like it's all that good, and yet he's been out front of
it looks good leading that race, I tell you.
He's going to need some blue emu because he is working those arms. What a ride that's been.
Well, Chandler Smith is making his way up on those new tires, Jamie.
Yeah, he's running 10th right now, Vince. He came in here 10th in the playoff standings. That's last. His crew chief, Danny Stockman, told me, we've got to be aggressive. We've got to go for every single point. Aggressive on pitting, aggressive on restarts. Go for it. And that's what they've done. And you saw they had just pitted. But Danny Stockman came on the radio and said, that was strange. I figured more people would pit with the amount of tires we have. So they were caught off guard, but he's racing his way from mid-pack forward. Josh?
Some concerns for the 88 truck. The last time they came into the pits, they had to help the truck stop. They were pumping the brakes just to see what was wrong. They added some fuel, but just a second ago from Crafton, it is not much better. So some concern from him. He was 20th, moved back up a little bit right now, but not good right now for the 88 truck.
I think his brake pedal must just be fading with him, and maybe that's why they added the fluid to see if there was a problem there. But he's still got great lap times. He, like Chandler Smith, is moving forward after that pit stop, but brakes are important in Darlington.
Yeah. Great battle at the front. Chandler, Nemechek, and Creed. You've been watching it. Sheldon Creed and John Hunter Nemechek still running 1-2, and Nemechek's fallen off a couple of truck lengths, but boy, he was really pressuring Creed, and I'll tell you what, they both had a handful at one point. Creed got loose and Nemechek got into the wall.
I think they need to give each other a little space. There's just so much going on. You can see this is classic Darlington. So much going on with the way these trucks are handling, slipping and sliding, trying to get that grip right out next to the wall, and then trying to make the move, John Hunter, to get the lead away from Creed. Creed has definitely made his truck better, but I think he's still very loose.
He has still got his hands full, without a doubt. You know, we watched a few laps ago. He got sideways, and John Hunter got in the wall. Neither one of them wrecked and kept going.
5 laps to go here in stage 2. GMS has made some progress. They had been missing speed through about the first 2/3 of the season, but what we've seen out of this GMS camp for the last couple of weeks, they have found some speed.
Look at that. I love what Sheldon Creed is doing. He is racing his butt off. Watch him wheel this thing. You know what's interesting, Todd? This is the 2 trucks that are running 1-2, and they're handling like this. Imagine what somebody running 20 is dealing with.
Derek Nealon, the spotter for Sheldon Creed, be busy as well.
Man, you see that turn steering wheel go back to the right. That is not fun.
But it's Darlington, isn't it? I mean, running it right up on the wall of 51 of Lupton.
That's hard contact into the outside wall for the 51.
Frustrating for Dylan Lupton in his first start of the season, and what a great opportunity it was for him to be running the Kyle Busch Motorsports equipment. He was back in around the 15th spot.
I told you those guys back in 15th and 20th were struggling worse than our leaders, and that's the result of just getting wide at Darlington. Probably loose in the corner and then corrected into the outside wall.
Usually those guys from 10th place back are working way harder than those guys in the front. Their trucks aren't handling.
That Crafton up to the top 5 with those new tires.
And no brakes.
Let's go with limited brakes.
Okay, we'll go limited.
Just a couple of laps left.
Look who's coming.
Stage 2, and Chandler Smith in those fresh tires up, challenging his teammate John Hunter Nemechek for the 2nd spot.
Oh man, he can taste that stage win. Just ahead is the leader, Sheldon Creed, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it.
A big wiggle there as he got onto the fresh pavement. Now down the backstretch, Chandler Smith trying to get past Nemechek for 2nd. Sheldon Creed trying to hold on for the stage win. Nemechek won stage 1. He's going to be passed for 2nd. And Creed is going to take care of business here and win stage 2.
Wow. Chandler Smith needed 1 lap.
One more and he'd have won that thing.
Oh, Sheldon Creed has made that 2 truck pretty wide today. I think some of it's his own doing and some of it's just holding on.
Maybe when he saw how Sheldon was driving, he'd have backed off a little bit.
Creed's 3rd stage win of the playoffs. He's out front. Nemechek and Creed top the list of points earned today. Creed has led 50 laps. Nemechek has led 38. But a lot of drivers having good days today. How about Parker Clearman coming from 34th inside the top 10? Good run again from Tanner Gray. We've seen that more often of late. Pits are open. And as we get ready for the third and final stage, we'll begin downstairs with Jamie Little.
The 18 of Chandler Smith said his truck is on rails right now, just a little bit free up the hill in one. He said, if you can give me some security there, that is the number one. So they'll take a half round out of wedge in the right rear. 4 tires. Remember, he pitted. He only has 18 racing laps on this set. Went from middle of the pack all the way up to second. Having a great day so far for the 18. Josh?
The Ford truck of John Hunter Nemechek in the middle left of your screen. He said he's been bad in dirty air. The nose has been loose off of turns 1 and 2, and he's losing grip as the rubber is laid down. Made a couple adjustments, and he's headed back out there. As far as Sheldon Creed, he was the stage 2 winner. Also issues in dirty air, but when he's up front, he's been running well today. This is a guy that said even though it's all about points, he would love to get another win here today. Guys?
The third and final stage of playoff race number 2 coming your way from Darlington.
Early. Yeah, look at this one here. Racing, there's Jack Wood, the 24.
Yeah.
Significant damage for Ben Rhodes.
Man, at this point in the day, 3 laps down, he's got a long way to come if he's going to recover any of these points.
Yeah, that's certainly not how Ben Rhodes would like to see. You can see the graph here of kind of how things have been. Starting out 3rd all the way down to 20th, up to 7th, down to 33rd. It's been an up and down day, certainly, for Ben Rhodes. But on the other side of the spectrum, what about Chandler Smith? He had his work cut out for him. It's been getting better, huh?
Yeah, we talked about him being farthest below the cut line, but what a great run. I think he made an odd pit stop there. I think they used a set of tires for no reason. He had the lead, but he ended up finishing second in the stage.
Yeah, to come from 23rd all the way back up to second in that stint, that was really strong for him.
All right, we'll see how Chandler Smith and everyone else fares for the rest of this race. Final stage is set to get underway. Let's head back to the track and Vince Welch.
Thank you, Caitlin, and it has been a good run for Chandler Smith. The KBM trucks in general, Chandler Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Dylan Lupton was solid until just had a cut right front and got into the wall, so some pretty significant damage there for Lupton. But the 18 and 4 looking strong, and Sheldon Creed has managed to stay out front for more laps than any other. And we'll restart in the front row as we get ready for the 3rd and final stage. Well, from what we've seen so far, who do you two like?
I like Chandler Smith. That's my pick. Who you want? You want this other Smith boy?
I'll take Zane. Zane's my boy.
Well, he had some issues on pit road.
Yeah, that's the problem here.
Watch this. Crafton is the neon yellow, and it looks like maybe just going a little too slow. Smith says, I'm going to cut in front of him, and not a good decision.
No, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know we saw earlier, Vince, the 21 of Zane Smith was pushing Crafton basically down pit road, so I think maybe Zane thinks Matt's tachometer's off a bit on his speed. Jamie, what's he saying about that controversial move we just saw?
Yeah, a little bit of controversy, and inside his helmet, he did come on the radio and tell his team what he was thinking at that moment.
Tell you to go around him.
I'm guessing the answer was no, right, Jamie? No one told him to go around?
Yes, exactly. Well, Zane said that he thought there were 8 more pit boxes to go, so his bad. They got 4 tires on it, now he's lined back up.
Boy, they lost a lot of track position all the way back to 27th. Wow. Final stage underway, 50 to go at Darlington.
Sheldon Creed with another great restart. John Hunter's struggling just a little bit on them starts, but Chandler Smith falls into second there.
Oh, contact.
Bit of wall graze there, huh? Tanner Gray's left front coming apart in that 15, red and white 15 truck.
3 wide.
Looks like that's going to be a caution waiting to happen.
I've seen plenty of those today, Vince. These guys are racing hard.
Friesen in the 52, trying to make his way up. He's just outside the top 10.
That's Austin Hill, also been stuck outside the top 10 most of the day, trying to rebound from an early pit penalty.
Well, that just goes to show you get back in the pack. It is hard to get back up there. Watch Gray graze the wall here in that 15 truck. Bam! Yeah, a little more than
a graze, I would say. Yeah.
Easy for me to say, right?
Didn't slow him down. He's still out there going at it.
It's Austin Hill on the bottom of the crease. Man, that's tight, isn't it?
I hold my breath every time I watch that.
You can tell, Vince, that Todd and I run into that outside wall off too before.
A couple of times.
We just can't get our arms around what's going on out there. So aggressive.
Both of you guys are former winners. Todd, you won in the truck in 2010. Michael in the Busch Series in '92. Mike, do you remember who you passed for the lead in '92?
I don't know. No, I don't. Who did I pass?
How about this? You passed Dale Jarrett. How about the top 4 in that race? You, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Earnhardt.
Those guys are good.
If I were you, I would have that finishing position on my wall at home. As big as that big golf simulator screen you've got.
Yeah, I love Darlington. It just goes all the way back to my first time there in '85, and now I just feel like it's so cool that I don't know how many of the drivers feel about it, but this new turn 2 pavement just gives you that much more to like about it. It makes it that much more challenging.
I think Darlington's one of those places you either love it or you hate it. And if you love it, you're going to love it forever because you always run good. And if you hate it, you end up having respect for it. And then in the long run, you start running better and you love it. So it's a great place to race, a lot of fun.
Oh, man, I agree, Todd.
The 25 is driven by Josh Berry. Another good showing for Berry. He's inside the top 10, Jamie.
And Josh Berry doing Josh Berry things. It doesn't matter what he's racing. He's always in the mix. If you remember back to May in the Xfinity race, led 8 laps and finished second. And he told me this morning he really felt like that would help him. This is the first time he's running this truck at a track he's been to before. So day has been good. He has 2 sets of tires. And you see the 15 slowing on the track, Vince.
Yeah, we said earlier he had gotten into the wall, and he has gotten into the wall again. So he has some pretty significant right side damage and some left side damage.
Just needs to get to the bottom of the road since it gets a clear path down low. See if we can see Tanner get into that outside wall up in 3 and 4.
Already had the left front coming apart, and then got up into the wall a second time to add to his right side damage. And he is now trying to get down, and I think he's going to get to pit road successfully, as you see Matt Crafton working on Stuart Friesen for 10th and grabbing that position.
I was just going to say, Vince, I tell you, man, it's on the move, and it's that 88 truck of Matt Crafton. They've got the right setup. I think it's so interesting. We heard Josh Sims talk earlier about a retro, a throwback setup for Junior Joyner in this team. I really didn't understand.
Oh, Kraus into the 45 and spins him around. How about Lawless Allen? Oh, I tell you what, Allen, he may have been slow, but Kraus really got into him and spun him around, and the caution is out.
Lawless has been running well. He was inside the top 15. I don't really know how, if he just lost his momentum into the corner, or if Derek overshot the turn on injury. See if we can break it down here.
Yeah, that right there, I think, might have been a little payback. If we go back a couple laps, when we watched Tanner get in the wall, right underneath him was Lawless in the 19, and Lawless came down on the 19, and Kraus almost lost it in that wreck. And I think maybe he felt like Lawless did him kind of wrong, because that was payback right there.
Wow, you saw Haley Deegan just barely slipping to the bottom of the track.
Somebody needs to knock that kid's teeth out. That's all he's done all year is wreck trucks.
Frustrating for the Nice camp. And there was that button on the steering wheel you were talking about earlier, Mike.
Yeah, that thing is powerful. You've never been beaten up.
God, I love it, though.
Using that
Thank
button.
goodness they had that button. It'll make watching it so much more fun.
She's a stunner, that lady in black.
I bet you heard about me.
Romanticized and admired. But her favor? Well, as difficult to gain as her turns are to take.
Oh, he's going to hit him.
And has suffered damage.
One hit from me and you're yelling timber. That can only be.
NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Darlington. Sunny, temperature in the upper 80s. Racing in the south. What NASCAR is all about. Been racing here since 1950. And the fans have come out, and they're getting a doubleheader today. The NASCAR Truck Series and then the Cup Series to follow.
It's a great crowd, Vince. Watching our truckers.
Coming to the choose zone. Take that high line or the low line. The high lane has been the preferred lane today, and we see. Whoa! Oh, that's a surprise.
Yes, it is.
Jumping to the bottom. Why would he do that?
That's a good question.
It's a good question. He's beat everybody on the outside so far. Why would he take the inside? I don't know.
And almost took out John Hunter Nemechek or excuse me, Chandler Smith in the process.
That was kind of fun to watch.
It'll be interesting to see what happens now, for sure. He's got such good restarts.
I think he caught Smith off guard there as well.
I think so too.
I think Smith was ready to go to the bottom, and he said, thank you for that little present.
Yeah. How about it, Jamie? 18 got to be happy about their position now.
Yep, they said we'll just keep doing what we've been doing all day. And before that, Chandler Smith, who's on the outside and running second right now, said, hey guys, so am I beating everybody in turn one? And they said yes. He said, okay, I just need to figure out how to get around the two and it'll be clear sailing. They're really happy with the truck they have. But the question for you, Michael and Todd, what does the 18 need, do you think, to get around that two?
I just believe he's got a better truck. Sheldon's been really loose, slipping the slide. I'd be patient, Jamie. There's enough time left in this race just to bide your time, watch Sheldon, watch him make a mistake, and then capitalize.
I think maybe what he needed was that outside restart position.
I totally agree with you, Vince. I was going to say, I think this is the first chance he's going to get. Well, Sheldon got a great start there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, Creed did get a great restart, great jump. In fact, maybe it's the opposite. Smith didn't get a good restart, and he was not able to take advantage of that outside starting position.
You know he's going to be on he's going to be on a mission. Zane Smith in the 21. You do something like that on pit road for the whole world to see. You want to tell your team, oh, no trouble.
And one up into the inside wall, and that's the 24 of Jack Wood.
I think Jack's already hit the wall.
That's the 34.
I'm sorry, the 34 of Rayon.
Like I was saying with before this caution, Zane Smith's got to get all that back. He's really got to make up that ground because he doesn't want his team to be mad at him when the race is over.
Well, and you say he's going to be aggressive. He was 4 wide going into 1 and made it work. So he's definitely on a mission.
So Josh Rayon bringing it to pit road. No worse for the wear on the right side of that truck. Let's see what happened.
Like maybe just got loose and then into the wall.
Some front end damage. Put some 4 fresh Goodyears on it and send him back out.
There you see the one truck of Haley Deegan. She got some damage in that wreck between Derek Kraus and Lawless Allen to the right side of her truck, and that looks like somebody's been into the left rear as well.
We've got 36 to go here, Mike, Todd. Everybody's got at least one set of tires left. When do you, optimally, when would you like to come get them?
20 to go. Yeah, I would like to run about 10, 15 more laps. I don't think you go now. We just had that restart, and before that, a handful of trucks decided to pit. So it's going to be fun watching them come up through the field, but I'd wait another 10, 15 laps, Vince.
We'll see how it plays out. 35 to go at Darlington. Some good boxing action on tap tonight. The unbeaten Jesus Ramos Jr. taking on the super welterweight contender Brian Mendoza. Two rising stars colliding tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox in the Fox Sports app. We got some contenders colliding here today at Darlington. Sheldon Creed, Chandler Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, all playoff drivers seeking the Camping World Truck Series championship, and they are battling at the front. It has been exciting. How about Creed, Josh?
Yeah, the two has been running well. They've had issues earlier in the day on being too loose and too tight, but now they like where they are. Now, before the race, Sheldon Creed told me he wanted to save a set of tires. So right now the team is hoping that another caution will come out because they feel that will give them an advantage to hold on and get the win here today.
Yeah, he is not alone. There's, well, everybody's got a set sitting, and they're all banking on another caution here in the final 33 to come get them.
What are the odds we're going to have another caution, Mikey?
It's trending that direction. And
plus,
plus, not only because of what we've seen so far, but just the near misses we've had. Guys out of control. This hot South Carolina sun baking down on this racetrack is just making conditions very tough.
Our Blue Emu race summary, and you look at Sheldon Creed, our current leader, and he has led the most laps today at 72, but it has been tight at the front. Nemechek, Chandler Smith, Zane Smith, Matt Crafton, they've all been up there battling for the lead at one time or another. But right now, Creed has it. Chandler Smith on the outside for this restart. 32 laps to go at Darlington.
Chandler's got his teammate John Hunter behind him with the push. Look at Grant Enfinger. Another solid run for Grant in the 98. He's down on the bottom. Can he hold it?
Parker Kligerman up there, one of our non-playoff drivers in the top 5 in that 75 truck on the outside of a 3-wide with Gilliland and Zane Smith.
Coach Zane Smith was on a mission. he stuck that thing 3-wide down into turn 3. You don't see that very often.
Nemechek taking a peek but can't get around Chandler Smith. Here comes Enfinger diving to the bottom.
Thought about driving in too wide. It's not a real smart thing right there.
Enfinger, the best of the ThorSport group currently. A couple of ThorSport trucks have had some problems. The 99 of Ben Rhodes with some heavy front end damage. The 88 of Crafton has had some brake issues, but Crafton still managing to be inside the top 10.
I just think that 18 truck is handling better than the 2. These tires are getting worn. We know Sheldon's truck's gone away on him. It's been all over the place, hanging on the lead, doing an excellent job of wheeling that 2 truck. And I think a better handling truck in the 18 is going to prevail in the long run.
We saw it right there. Chandler earlier said that he wasn't getting off of turn 2 that well, and it showed up right there. Sheldon pulled him about 2 truck lengths. Once he figures that out, he's going to be tough. We're on the bottom right here on the apron a little bit.
I just love all the different lines, Vince. They're just looking for grip anywhere they can find it, and using every inch of this crazy tough racetrack in order to get there.
Chandler Smith has yet to win in the Camping World Truck Series. Technically a rookie, ran some races last year, but currently in the Rookie of the Year standings, but running second in those standings to Carson Hocevar, seeking his first career win, and boy, what a place to get it if it would happen today. See our playoff standings there on the left-hand side of the screen there in the pylon, and our running order now. You see the playoff drivers with the yellowish background. Sheldon Creed has the green background because he won the playoff opener and has already secured his spot in the next round.
Got a couple of guys on new tires, Todd, coming this way. That's the first of them. Stuart Friesen. He's up into the top 10 and bringing Josh Berry, another truck with the new tires. Strategy playing out good for these guys at this point. If this thing goes green all the way to the checker, one of these guys will win this race.
Absolutely. If this can goes green, those 4 field goods will be at the front at the end for sure. Crew chiefs will look like heroes.
Yeah, all 4 of these trucks, these 3 and Friesen just ahead, have the fresh tires and are the fastest trucks on the track right now. You can see Friesen off 4 there. He's got the leaders in sight. That would be a a curveball thrown at him, wouldn't it? After all the action and crashes we've seen, this thing goes all the way to the checker under green.
Yeah, when we were here in May, we had 6 cautions in the 3rd stage, in the final stage. I mean, our longest green flag run in May in the 3rd and final stage was 7 laps. I mean, so this is taking a different vibe here today, that's for sure, despite the slippery track under the hot sunshine. Hocevar slipping right in there behind Austin Hill.
I like that corner. That was a nice turn there by Hocevar. He's such a talented young racer. Just gets better and better every week.
Both these drivers have the fresher tires.
The advantage of these new tires, though, Mike, I think as they click off the laps, as they build some temperature and they build some pressure in them, I think the difference in the advantage definitely gets smaller.
Okay, I'll take the 4 guys on new tires, and you can have the rest of the field for the win if it goes green.
If it goes green, they're going to get there, but it's not going to be, I mean, we watch right now, Stuart running faster lap times, yeah, definitely, but he's got good trucks to pass at the same time, so it'll be interesting if he can get there, if it goes green.
Well, if it goes green to the end, I mean, it would be the longest green flag run ever to end a Truck Series race here in Darlington.
If it goes green, absolutely.
That's a big if.
Isn't it fun, though, talking all this if?
Yeah.
It's fun sitting here. If you're the crew chief that's sitting on the pit box and you're the one that made the decision to give your driver 4 fresh tires that goes green all the way in, you're going to be a hero.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how many times have we seen a late caution just completely change the makeup of a race? In fact, last year here with Sheldon Creed seemed to have it in the bag, and Ben Rhodes ended up winning. Friesen and Kligerman.
Friesen
for 6th.
Up to the 7th spot, but like Todd said, as you have to pass these better trucks, truck after truck, it's tougher and tougher.
How about Stuart Friesen? You know, Kyle Larson gets a lot of attention in the Cup Series for all the racing he does outside of the Cup Series. I think Stuart Friesen's racing schedule might rival Larson's. I mean, this guy is racing the modified. Racing the modified all the time. Friday night he raced in Utica, New York, won. Last night, Lebanon Valley finished 3rd. He's racing the truck here this afternoon and then hops on a plane and goes back to Utica to race tonight. I mean, this guy is always behind the wheel of the race car.
And happy to do it, man. I've gotten to go to the dirt races with Stuart a couple of times, and it's just a show to see how much respect and love of all the fans up in the northeastern part of our country have for him, and appreciation for what he and his family does. When I say he and his family, his wife races as well.
Camping World 20 to go. 20 laps left here at Darlington, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Playoff race number 2. Remember, we'll go to Bristol next for our 3rd playoff race, and that'll be the final race of round 1. And after that race, 2 drivers, 2 of the 10, will be eliminated from championship contention. Todd Gilliland. We haven't mentioned him a lot, but a very steady run, Jamie, as he sits in that 5th position.
Yes, it has been a steady run, Vince. Remember, he was on a hot streak before Gateway. He had 7 straight top 10s, most of those being top 5s. And then they had the ill will, and that put him in a tough spot in the playoffs. He told me today it was going to be all about patience. And they've been on both ends of it. They've been loose in the front, loose in the back, and now a little bit free, but they've been patient. Coleman Presley is spotters on top, telling him, keep those guys honest, but stay patient. We need to bring it home with a solid top 5 today.
18 to go. Going to take a break. Going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing. Keep it right here. Going to bring you to the finish. Sheldon Creed continues to lead here at Darlington. John Hunter Nemechek in pursuit. Shouldn't be a surprise. Our two championship contenders, our favorites. Shouldn't say contenders because we still have 10 championship contenders, but I think Nemechek and Creed have established themselves as the favorites. As Stuart Friesen finally gets past Grant Enfinger for third.
It's your boy. He's on the move, Mikey.
Me and my friendly little wager with Todd about this 52 truck's getting interesting, Ben, since the laps click down. Can he get there?
Yeah, do you think he's got time? 13 laps, and he's 3 seconds back, 3.5 seconds back.
Friesen has 14 lap fresher tires than the two drivers he's chasing, Creed and Nemechek.
But he has got a good truck, because you see the other guys, you can see in our Toyota last lap pit graphic, the other guys haven't made the progress Stewart's made. So great adjustments, great race so far for Creed.
And if we get a caution, everybody's coming.
Right.
Set of tires.
And Stewart's got all the track position now because of that pit stop, those tires.
Yes. This is good.
But a deficit of almost 3.5 seconds for Friesen. Even with those fresh tires, it's going to be tough over the final 10 laps.
Yes, it is. It's going to be fun to watch him.
It's going to be fun.
Eat into this deficit. Something's gone wrong with the 18. He's falling way back. What do you hear, Jamie?
Yeah, he was just battling for the lead, it seems like 20 laps ago, and now he's just falling off on those older tires. He said, I'm in a four-wheel slide right now, and he says he's running about 85%, Michael, but as you guys just mentioned, there's still a set of tires, and what he would do for a caution right now to pick him up.
Well, that's for sure. You saw him get around his teammate for this race, Dylan Lupton, and that 18. He had a right front cut earlier, and that put him, for the most part, out of contention. He's 4 laps down. But Chandler Smith has had an impressive run today. The truck may have gone away from him a little bit here in this final stage, but he has been fast.
Yeah, Vince, you really like to take advantage of those fast trucks, and he looked like he could win this darn race, and now he's still laboring down below the playoff cuts.
It's Creed and Nemechek out front, and Creed leads this race by almost 1.5 seconds as Haley Deegan slides up in front of him, but Sheldon will cut down underneath. Nemechek coming in tow, but Sheldon Creed is really looking impressive with 8 to go, but Stuart Friesen continues to stalk.
What's the deficit now, Todd?
Yeah, he's cut it in half.
Yep.
That's for sure. 8 to go. It's going to be tough. He can probably get to John Hunter.
Oh, he's going to get to John Hunter. He's going to do away with John Hunter. What happens after that?
Everybody wants...
There's only one in front of him to get at that point.
Yeah, everybody except Friesen wants a caution right now. Friesen is stalking, and he has really cut into it.
Wow.
3.5 seconds just a couple of laps ago, now approaching 1.5 seconds.
That's such a great feeling, too, when you have a truck that's handling well, you've got better tires than the guys ahead of you, and you can see them getting bigger in your windshield.
One thing I've noticed, Michael, both Sheldon Creed and John Hunter are running a little different line than Stewart through 1 and 2. Stewart's running right in the middle of the race, a little sideways there, but he's running right in the middle of the racetrack, and his truck is straight. Those other guys got the back of their trucks hanging out, sliding around. I think that's where he's making most of his time.
It's been a long time for Stuart Friesen, a 39 race winless streak for the driver of the 52. One at Phoenix in 2019. November of 2019 his most recent win. Won twice that year. There's one at Eldora. And he is about to get John Hunter Nemechek for second. And 5 laps remain.
Just having trouble getting off turn 4 now. Trying to cut low on John Hunter the last 2 laps. It's been sideways, and those Goodyear tires don't like sideways at 150 miles an hour.
Now, you know, Michael, once you spin those tires, they heat up. It takes a few laps to get them back, and he's not letting them come back. He's keeping on digging and keep getting sideways, so it's going to get a little tougher here.
Race day coming up next here on FS1. Remember the Cup race to follow, so they'll get you, Caitlin Vitzi and company will get you all prepared for the Cup race later this afternoon.
I felt better about him getting there with 10 to go than I do with 4 to go.
Creed continues to lead, less than a second. Friesen about a second back.
Tried to take advantage of making the way around that lap truck. Oh, Tyler Hill.
Some heavy damage for Tyler Hill, but is it going to bring out the caution? We're still under green. 4 laps left. Creed out front. Nemechek and Friesen trying to catch the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Nemechek has been able to hold off Friesen so far. Creed gets around the lap vehicle. Friesen the fastest, but is he going to have enough time?
A little too free through the middle of 3 and 4 to get back to the throttle and get that drive off.
John Hunter bounced off the outside wall coming off turn 4.
2 laps left for Sheldon Creed. Creed is on a remarkable streak. He won the championship last year, and he won the playoff opener a couple of weeks ago at Gateway. He has, as you see, won 3 of the last 4 Truck Series playoff races, and inclusive of that was the championship race last year at Phoenix. And now he is 1 lap away from doing it again.
John Hunter's coming, though. He's bouncing off the wall and gaining on him.
A little more conservative approach for Creed through 2 this time. Trying to hold off John Hunter Nemechek, who's within a half a second. Sheldon Creed trying to make it 2 in a row to open the playoffs. A second win at Darlington for Creed is in the books. Sheldon Creed wins.
Guys, thank you so much. Redeemed it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Fuck yeah, baby! Woo!
The playoff magic continues for this GMS team, and that man, the crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz, and his driver, Sheldon Creed.
Oh, that was good stuff, wasn't it, Vince?
Man,
I love watching that battle. That's just old-fashioned, old style. Just give me all you got on them old tires to get to victory lane. And Sheldon Creed held off a very determined John Hunter and Stuart Friesen.
I apologize for the language that came over in the exuberance of the celebration. Creed got that damage there you saw on the rear end of that truck. He got that early in the race, and really to no effect, obviously. And you mentioned it, you and Todd, Mike mentioned it, that should not bother him throughout the course, and it did not. But Creed going to get an opportunity to burn him down a little bit here.
There must
on
not
the front stretch.
Must not be much rubber left on these tires, though.
Be careful.
This could be the world's shortest burnout.
Well, he's getting plenty of practice at it.
That's pretty fancy, too. I like the way he's doing that. That's a controlled burnout.
8th career win for Sheldon Creed.
Got a little lift in the rear there. Lift kit.
Lift kit.
See how you work that in there.
got something going on. I wonder, you know, when we looked at that earlier, it didn't look like it hurt the right rear, but you know, there's so much that depending on the right rear of the truck, and it's pretty damaged. So maybe that's why he was sideways about every time we saw him. Great job, though. Wow. Holding onto that truck, not making a mistake with all that pressure. That's why he's the champion.
As sideways as that truck was at the beginning of the race, Michael, I don't think I would have bet to see him sitting here in victory lane. They did a great job of getting adjusted, but as we said, they didn't get it adjusted enough. It was still sideways. He just driving the heck out of it.
Yeah,
did a great job.
That's a great display of just a guy with excellent control of his truck, even though it was out of control.
So Sheldon Creed 2 for 2 in the playoffs. And John Hunter Nemechek, who finished in the runner-up position, clinches on points an advancement into the next round. But today is the day for Sheldon Creed. And Josh Sims is down there with the winner.
Sheldon Creed has won 4 of the last 5 playoff races, swept the races in 2021 at Darlington. What is it so much you love about Darlington and about playoff time, Sheldon?
What a way to open the playoffs, right? Just, man, started our day really loose. I was like, oh no, we're in trouble here, but the guys worked on it. Pit crew killed it all day. Man, I love Josh Wise for notes, man. I just was trying to remember everything that he was telling me and where to go and what to do on restarts. Man, it's so good. This one's for the family of the 13 service members we lost last week. So just want to thank everyone for our freedom and letting us race like this. Lift Kids for Less, Trent Shoring, my whole family, my grandparents, Papa, he likes me to call him, Mom and Dad, beautiful girlfriend. Man, I got the best support group, and we've had a tough season, but we're shining at the right time, and it feels so good to go back-to-back wins and hopefully start on the front row at Bristol. And how about these fans? Fans are awesome. I love seeing it. I feel like every race we go to, it's more and more packed, so I love to see it.
Sheldon, you talked about the fact that when it comes to playoff time, last year you were a little more uptight. This year, you learned to relax. Can you talk to me about the mindset you have to just go out there and enjoy this thing, man?
Yeah, these guys they're tense. They're serious about it, and I'm just trying to enjoy it. Last year, I was super serious about it, and I had fun, but I just wanted to remember it more this year and have more fun with it and try to put the pressure on the other guys. You know, I had nothing to lose really coming in, so yeah, we got fast trucks and had to work for that one. The KBM trucks were moving there on the short run. Even in the long run, I thought they were better than us, just track position, and I could just kind of go where I wanted when I was in front. If I got behind them, I was going to be in big trouble.
Sheldon Creed, your winner at Darlington and the winner of the first 2 playoff races so far this postseason. Vince?
Life is good for Sheldon Creed. Sweeps Darlington. It wasn't too tough to tame for the 2 team today. machine was bad fast. He led 142 of the 163 laps. He took that victory with relative ease. Celebrated in victory lane to clinch his spot into the next round of the playoffs. And then, not to be outdone, he followed it up today with another victory. And the kids, oh, they were begging for the checkered flag. Give it to me, Sheldon, give it to me. No. So Sheldon Creed with those 2 wins obviously has advanced to the next round. And John Hunter Nemechek, who finished second today, advances on points. And he stands by with Jamie.
And the consolation prize for John Hunter Nemechek, of course, clinching that spot in the next round. But let's talk about today. Creed was just lights out there. What did you feel like he had that you didn't, or what did you need?
Clean air. It's simple, just clean air. I felt like we had a really good truck all day. Mobil 1 Toyota Tundra was fast right from the start. We were able to drive up, actually pass those guys and get the lead. And then we lost the lead on pit road the first stop, and then lost another spot after that at the end of stage 2. So kind of just is what it is. At least we clinched our way into the next round in advance. That's really all that matters right now. But we want to win every single week. To be that close and not get the job done definitely hurts, but we'll take the momentum and roll on after a crazy week at Gateway.
Thanks, John Hunter. We'll move our way down to Stuart Friesen, who finished this race. It was his best finish of the year, Stuart. You bring it home third there. Take me through your day and what it means to just be excelling like you guys are at this point in the playoffs.
It's awesome. Big thanks to Helmar and Chris Larson. Everything he's done for me in this race team in my career. It's awesome to start this whole deal with tripping all the guys and you know, get it rolling to where we're competitive here. We fought a loose condition all day. Couldn't get it better, and then got off sequence and got some tires there, and almost skunked one out there, but got caught up in lap traffic. So good points day for us, and some great momentum thanks to Toyota, Helmar, and Chris, Parker, and Jess, everybody at home. Utica rained out tonight, so we can go celebrate this and then get back after it tomorrow at Utica Rome.
It was about to be a busy day, but now you get to take this in and get ready for Bristol. Vince?
Yep, and headed to the airport. He's going to hop on a plane and go run the big block modified tonight.
Yeah, he said
New York.
Not tonight. It's got rained out. So.
Oh, did they get? Is that what he said?
Yeah, and so he'll do that tomorrow. But I was talking to him earlier today. I said, "How you getting up to New York?" He said, "A really fast plane." And I said, "Oh, you're a fancy guy, huh?" He says, "I am today." And he said, "This is really important to me to be a part of the truck series with Chris Larson." He talked about his owner with Halmar, and now he's going to get to do his other job, go race dirt tomorrow night.
How about that guy that was right behind him, Parker Kligerman?
Yeah, great.
What a great run coming in 5th. Good job for. Go ahead and say it, Mikey.
Yeah, Todd Golan did pretty good too, up there in the top 5.
There he is.
Yep.
Great job, Parker.
Started 34th, finished 5th. Well done, Parker. Coming back, we'll wrap it up from Darlington.